This is episode 213. What I learned about weight loss and health from Zuzu carrying Ziemer arms. Welcome everybody to another episode here in Body My Transformation by Custom Body Fitness. This is your health coach Sandro Torres. And today I'm going to present to you an amazing interview. This lady, Zuzu, I just can't say enough about her. I can give you a great introduction about the things that she has done. And we can talk about credentials, but honestly, I think what matters is that you deliver results more than your credentials. And she has overcome osteoporosis, arthritis, and also she stopped having surgeries when she used to have those epileptic attacks back in the past. Now, for years, over 40 years, she stopped having that. She cured herself. And what amazed me about her is that she took a lot of her lifetime to research about diseases and help a lot of people overcome many diseases, such as just the ones that I just mentioned. Also, she is very passionate about helping people, and she doesn't have any information when it's about health. She wants you to be healthy. She even though she has a business, she profit and so on, it seems like she cares about you and she doesn't have any information for you to become healthy. So it's not about trying to sell you anything. She just wants you to be healthy. However, if you need a professional to help you, she'll be the lady, or her staff can help you with any related health problems that she has the knowledge to help you with. Anyway, we had a long conversation about different things, and she gave me 4 tips about weight loss. So I really recommend you listen to it. Please enjoy the conversation. And without further introduction, let's listen to it. This is episode 213. What I learned about weight loss and health from Zuzu carrying Ziemer arms. Welcome everybody to another episode here in Body My Transformation by Custom Body Fitness. This is your health coach Sandro Torres. And today I'm going to present to you an amazing interview. This lady, Zuzu, I just can't say enough about her. I can give you a great introduction about the things that she has done. And we can talk about credentials, but honestly, I think what matters is that you deliver results more than your credentials. And she has overcome osteoporosis, arthritis, and also she stopped having surgeries when she used to have those epileptic attacks back in the past. Now, for years, over 40 years, she stopped having that. She cured herself. And what amazed me about her is that she took a lot of her lifetime to research about diseases and help a lot of people overcome many diseases, such as just the ones that I just mentioned. Also, she is very passionate about helping people, and she doesn't have any information when it's about health. She wants you to be healthy. She even though she has a business, she profit and so on, it seems like she cares about you and she doesn't have any information for you to become healthy. So it's not about trying to sell you anything. She just wants you to be healthy. However, if you need a professional to help you, she'll be the lady, or her staff can help you with any related health problems that she has the knowledge to help you with. Anyway, we had a long conversation about different things, and she gave me 4 tips about weight loss. So I really recommend you listen to it. Please enjoy the conversation. And without further introduction, let's listen to it. Welcome everybody to another episode here in Body Mind Transformation by Custom Body Fitness. Today I have a very exciting guest that I don't think I gotta be doing such an amazing introduction that she needs. But let me begin by saying this. Zuzu is a holistic health educator. She holds various retreats, also an author of a book, and she's a speaker. What amazed me the most about Zuzu is that she found a cure for her epileptic and arthritis. Is that correct, Zuzu?
Oh, yes, and I reversed my scoliosis.
And
Can't forget.
yeah, so and with that, because you've done that to yourself, you actually educate people into learning how to fix those issues. Is that
Yes.
right?
Yes, we actually help people fix over 350 health issues. It's what we've done for decades, and there's nothing better than what we do, I don't think, except having babies, which your background looks like you know babies, and it's so much fun to have little children, but helping people fix their body, oh, it's the best thing in the world.
Okay, tell me how you become passionate about it.
Well, I was just raised. I was just a normal human being, in Wind Lake, Wisconsin, middle of nowhere, and I had epilepsy, so I found out I had epilepsy after having several seizures throughout my young life. And then I was put on medication, and there's side effects to medications, and that was just part of my life. And when I got married and I wanted to have a child, I'm like, well, I don't want to be on medication. So I was able to get off the medication by going to libraries and reading books because there was no World Wide Web back then. I'm so ancient, right? 58. But anyhow, and so I was able to figure out, hey, this is a nervous system disorder. These are the healthy fats I should be eating. These are vitamins I need more of. And it's neat because now I look back with an immense, my education that I have now, and I'm like, oh, I was GABA deficient. So it's been really neat because I've been able to help so many people get rid of tremors and epilepsy and any, a lot with the nervous system, so many things with the nervous system. And so it's been really cool. But that's what I did when I was 21. And then my first child was born, and the passion came when she had clogged tear ducts. And so they were taking her in for surgery at a very young, a few months old age, I think 6 months. And they were like, we're just going to put tubes in her ears because we know she'll need them. And I'm like, no, 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 no. You're not putting tubes in my child's ears. Whatever that is, you're not doing it. That does not sound normal. And they're like, well, she's going to get an ear infection. And like a year and a half later, she got an ear infection. And that's when I learned about homeopathy. Well, that went away really quick. And then I started having a lot of children. And for the first 12 years of raising children, all I used was homeopathy. And then I brought in herbs, and I really like grind my own wheat and make my own bread. And I taught classes on how the body works. And I just kept learning and learning and learning until I became a practitioner, opened up a couple wellness centers and health food stores and cafes. They were so yummy. And I just fell in love with food, and I love the human body. I love it. I love it. I literally love your guts. I know I don't know you all that are listening, but I love your guts. Like there's a lady in Hawkinsville, Georgia, who just loves your guts because a lot of people don't. They don't love their guts because they don't understand them. They don't know them. They don't wake up in the morning and like say thank you to their liver. So the more we can educate, then the more empowered people are to do what they need to be healthy because everybody wants to be healthy. They just don't know. They don't know that they're overweight because they're iodine deficient. They don't know that, they don't know selenium helps this and that phosphorus does this. They just don't know what the sparks of life do in the body. And when they understand it, well, then you'd be pretty dumb to be like, oh, I know how to make my body healthy, but I just can't or I won't. Okay, whatever. Then that's your choice. But if you'd like to live without disease or dis-ease, as I call it, then you'll want to get educated because education is the best thing we can do for each other.
Interesting enough, that's that you mentioned. There is a lot of questions that popping up into my head now that you're speaking, but just want to comment something that I have a trainer that he came to this lady and told the lady, "You don't supposed to be eating that." A random lady that he knows, he came and give her advice and say, "You don't supposed to be eating that food because that's crap." And the person turned around and told her, I didn't ask for your opinion. And I told my trainer, she's right. Because
Yep.
people who don't want to be helped, you can't help them. You
That's
can't go to the bars and say, you need AA. because they're gonna kick you out. They need to come to you and they need to say,
Yes.
I need help. I
Yeah.
want help and I want to work to improve my health. Otherwise, you're not needed.
Yes.
If they don't think they have a problem, you can point out their problems unless they know they have a problem.
Amen. And I don't know what you're seeing, but we certainly are seeing people come out of the woodwork right now for natural health. I think COVID did something, and people are like, I'm going to go to a natural. I'm going to go to a natural person, right? And now and when the GLP-1, I'm like, oh my gosh, the last thing anyone on the planet should do for weight loss is a GLP-1.
Wait, wait,
Like,
wait, wait. You getting ahead of me. I
oh,
have
I'm
the
sorry.
question.
I'm just
Fast.
saying, but you're right. They have to come to us. They have to come to us. They have to go to you. They have to go to people, and then they're ready. So, amen to you.
Great. I have that question in the future. Don't get ahead. Tell me a little bit about the side effects of the medication that you've been taking for epilepsy and why it's important for you to stop taking that medication.
Um, so it wasn't like I didn't the side effects, being obviously there was some depression, a little bit of weight gain. So but I wasn't large. I just kept losing that weight back and forth. But it was like when I got off the medication, because I started when I was so young, you don't know what the side effects are. You just get emotional or you gain a little bit of weight or you don't know as a kid because there's no such, you don't even know there's side effects. You've never heard that word. So after I got well, then I was like, wow, I have a lot more energy. Oh, I can keep my weight where it's supposed to be. Oh, I'm not near as depressed or frustrated as I would get. So I think that a lot of those side effects just went away and I didn't know they were there, quite honestly, because I was young.
You get used to it, just like when you eat junk food, right? You just
Yes.
get used to it, to that lower level of energy and that disease that you don't know that you're having and depressed and so on until you change it. And then
Yeah.
you notice that boost of energy, how clear is your mind, how strong you are, how more
Mm.
positive you think.
Yes.
Yeah, so I see what you're saying. I have one more question about the epilepsy, and this is for a friend.
You bet.
His son has the same issue,
Okay.
and he asked me I think you already answered one question. Why would you stop taking the medication? You already answered that. And the second one is, what are the things that a person needs? I know you're not gonna give me the whole protocol because it's not an easy answer, but
Mhm.
what are the things that a person that has epilepsy can start working on?
Sure. Well, this is great. I will say this, according to Zuzu, the body, according to Zuzu, the number one system is the nervous system, period. The nervous system controls 100% of the body. It controls your circulatory system, your gastrointestinal system, your circulation system. It controls your reproductive system. It controls your endocrine system. It controls everything. And it makes neurotransmitters. So that's sure. So think of that. Neurotransmitters, this is something the nerves are making and are firing. Your endocrine system makes hormones, which are in the blood, right? And those are hormones, which are chemical messengers. So they're two different systems. So this is why, just a side note, if you're running to an endocrinologist for everything, please consider not. Please go and see a neurologist. Well, don't even see them. Go to a chiropractor and go to get acupuncture done. Like, don't, you can still go see whoever you want to go see, but please know that your endocrine system is actually controlled by the nervous system. So if you have a thyroid disorder, you may want to look at the nervous system because your neurotransmitters might be off that are controlling your thyroid. So just putting it out there. For the epilepsy, it is a nervous system disorder. We are not making enough GABA. The synapses aren't connecting. We literally are not functioning well. And it's almost always a GABA deficiency. And I'd say that because I've seen it happen so many times. So I'm not a medical doctor. I'm a holistic healthcare practitioner. I own Holistic Health Educators, along with my daughter, Amy. She graduated Johns Hopkins. She went into public health and epidemiology. I had already been doing this for decades, and she just came in to work with me because she's, Mom, I went into public health, but that's not public health. And so we are appreciative of the medical world, and we work very closely with them. I have medical doctors who send their people to me, and I send people to them. So We work very closely with Western medicine because some of their diagnostic tools are phenomenal, and we can talk about some of those when we talk about GLP-1. But anyhow, and so epilepsy being a nervous system disorder, the top things to do is to understand chiropractic and acupuncture because it will change your life. Everybody listening needs these two things the rest of their life, really, your whole everybody's life, like everybody. This is because you have 31 sets of nerves that come out of your 4 pound, 2 to 4
You
pound
say
brain.
chiropractor and acupuncture, right?
An acupuncturist, yep. And that's because you have this brain, which is, 2 to 4 pounds, sitting on a 2 ounce atlas. 2 ounces is the top bone of your spinal column. And then you've got 31 sets of nerves, so 62 nerves coming down the spinal column, choop, 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 and then all those nerves are going to your organs, your glands, and your tissues, and they're delivering information. So super important that that nervous system there's no subluxations, because if you get a subluxation, fall out of a tree, off your bike, you get hit, or making love the wrong position, whatever it might be, you have a subluxation, boop, and now you're cutting that nerve. It's like pinching a electrical cord to a bedroom, and now you can't get electricity. That's literally what it is. It's so easy to do, but we need to fix it. So chiropractors, boop, will line up your spine again, and don't be afraid of them. I mean, do your research, but most of them are absolutely, I mean, 99.9% of them are unbelievable to get that spinal column straight. Very important for epilepsy. Number two is acupuncture. Acupuncture, hello, 5,000 years, guys. Traditional Chinese medicine, 5,000 years is when they wrote the yellow book, right? The Emperor's Yellow Book. And so they know what they're doing. Acupuncture is unbelievably effective for everything. It is absolutely my number one go-to for anything with the nervous system. Because acupuncture, when you put little needles, and acupressure is nice, but acupuncture is incredible. And when we do acupuncture and we release the energy of the meridians that are running, when we unblock the meridial energy of the body, I mean, you can get pregnant like that. You can stop smoking literally in one visit. I have seen prolapsed uteruses completely reversed, like so many things. But for epilepsy, it is really important because you need the electrical system of the body to be communicating. And then the biggest thing is going to be GABA for me. The thing that I recommend is GABA. Now, I will put a couple of things in here. I'm going to talk about cannabis because I have to. Because anybody who knows anything about cannabis, who has written, if you've read any of the patents that the United States government owns on cannabis, you will know cannabis gets rid of epilepsy because cannabis will help the synapses and the dendrites. It
Uh,
will literally help. And I have seen, I mean, I've had people come to me who had, 15 seizures a day, their young daughter. And that was in my Utah clinic. I had clinics in Wisconsin and Utah. And well, Utah, of course, it's illegal. I'm like, go to Vegas tonight. Here's what you need. Right. They went to Vegas and started them on cannabis. She's never had a seizure since. And of course, they moved. I mean,
okay.
hello. So
To
that's a
tell
big
me,
thing.
help me a little bit with my ignorance. What's GABA?
Okay, GABA is a neurotransmitter that the nervous system makes that controls all the electricity in the body. You may have heard of acetylcholine and dopamine and
Mm-hmm.
serotonin, right?
Okay.
Those are all neurotransmitters.
And
Are you
that gets
there?
fixed with cannabis.
Yeah, so they're different. So GABA is that neurotransmitter that controls all of the electricity in the body, and GABA is made by the human body, by the nervous system. Here's really super important information. The majority of your GABA is made in the gut. Now, this is going to get really exciting because there's a reason we are seeing so many more seizures since COVID. So many more seizures, so much more Tourette's, so many more, and not even epilepsy, just seizures. We have seen so many of these issues because GABA is made in the gut, the most of it is. But in the gut, you need to have a diverse microbiome. We'll talk about that in a second, and a right pH. We actually need to have a diverse microbiome. You need so many healthy bacteria in the digestive system in order for the nervous system to form GABA. And GABA controls all the electricity. So, what happened during the COVID years? Everyone was slathering their body with antibacterial agents, right? They were bathing in Perel hand sanitizer and sanitizing everything in their house. We were killing all of our healthy
Okay.
bacteria. And if we don't have healthy bacteria in the gut, we cannot make GABA. So anybody listening who has knows anybody who has seizures or epilepsy, please consider doing some research. Number one, ban all
So,
antibacterials.
and antibacterials such as antibiotics.
Yeah, and yes, exactly. And when you put antibacterial products on your skin, it goes right into your bloodstream. Everything you put on the skin goes right into the bloodstream, which is why I'm like, hey, don't buy the peach lotion for $1.99 at Walmart. Please don't do that. Like everything you put on your skin is going to become who you are. It goes to your heart and all your organs, everything you put on your skin. So please, I don't use anything. This is me, right? No makeup. Well, I have white eyelashes, so I put eye stuff on. But anyhow, but I have like nothing on my skin ever. And my skin is never dry because your skin grows from the inside out. But whatever you put on the skin goes into your bloodstream. And during COVID, everyone was so nervous about this virus. So we were using antibacterial products. And okay,
That's a
guys,
key right
that
there.
should be a key thing right there. But
Common
anyhow,
sense
yes.
sometimes.
Yep, exactly. And then then all these people had epilepsy and seizures and Tourette. And I'm like, oh my gosh. But even I had a gentleman come in who had an extra Y chromosome. And so he was just shaking all the time. We put him on GABA L-theanine. I recommended GABA L-theanine. It was like cut in half. It was incredible. So GABA controls electricity. So if there's ever something in the body that is electric, let's consider looking at GABA as an option. And I do,
I understand that you mentioned the GABA is created on the gut by the organism, but the
yeah,
good bacteria. I understand that, but also as I'm concluding because you're talking, also can be bad. And the thing that GABA that you recommend is the GABA athenin. Is that correct?
yeah, yeah, yeah. GABA is made by the nervous system, but we do have to have that healthy gut. Otherwise, you won't be able to form it.
And that's the next thing that I want to talk about a little bit because you
Sure.
mentioned it as you were talking. Uh,
Hmm.
People don't know much about a healthy gut.
Okay.
What makes a healthy gut healthy besides the microbiome that you already talked about?
Okay. So that's phenomenal. I just got off the beach, so my hair is crazy. Sorry, guys. But
You look
anyhow,
beautiful.
okay. Well, I'm
Uh,
like,
And
I
your
literally,
energy and your energy is impressive. Trust
okay.
me the whole you is just bright.
Okay, well, I'm probably glowing because I've been in the
You,
sun in the panhandle on white sand, and I'm full of sand. But anyhow, so the healthy gut is everything. It really is. And we make choices every day to either destroy our gut or to build our gut. And this is so simple. It is so simple to understand the microbiome. And you have microbiome throughout the body, not just in your gut. Matter of fact, most prostate cancers come because you have destroyed the microbiome of your prostate. So, like, you have microbiome all over the body. We can talk about that at a different time. But right now, in your gut, we need to have a diverse microbiome. That means you need as many bacteria, and there's thousands of types of bacteria, not just lactobacillus, right? So, and hello, lactobacillus, there's like 15 different kinds of lactobacillus, right? So, when we have a diversified microbiome, we can digest better, we don't bloat, blah, blah, blah. So, let me explain a little bit about bacteria for the gut. So the bacteria live in between the villi and your small intestine, and then they live in the colon. Actually have a lot of it in the colon. That's where it's supposed to be. But the villi, the bacteria, when they consume fiber, so you can't break down fiber. It's impossible for the human body to break down fiber. No human cell breaks down fiber. However, bacteria does. Bacteria lives off of fiber. And so your healthy bacteria, which you have more bacterial cells than human cells, and you're all looking at probably, if you look at your body, you've got, 20 to 50 trillion cells in your body, and you have more bacterial cells. Well, those bacteria, they make things for you. They not just help you break down your food, they actually form your B vitamins and elemental P. They just do so much for the body. The number one thing that the healthy bacteria do is they get rid of the bad bacteria. So the healthy bacteria is here to be like, okay, I'm protecting this human. I'm in charge, right? And the more diverse the fiber, the more diverse the microbiome. So if you eat a salad and it's got like, oh, I have lettuce and tomatoes and cucumbers. Oh, okay. I'm like, that's lovely. That'll feed some of your bacteria. But if you're like, I've got lettuce and cucumbers and a couple great organic tomatoes and collard greens and chard and arugula, all of you should get hooked on to arugula. Like, and you diversify that
Why
salad.
arugula?
Arugula because it's bitter and people are so wussy they don't eat bitters anymore and then our digestion sucks. So if any of you have bad digestion, go get some bitters, get some arugula and get some, just go to the health food store, order online some bitters. Absolutely incredible, change your life.
Thank
We
you.
used to have a lot of we used to have a lot of bitter food, like strawberries. If you come to Lily Fields and you go walk the property, you're going to find zillions of little strawberries that are tiny, all natural organic strawberries, and they're not sweet. They're barely sweet because that's normal. What you buy at the grocery store, trust me, don't ever eat a non-organic strawberry. And even some of the organic ones are just, they're not even actual. You guys, did you know that most of your strawberries aren't even like a fruit? They're just a chemical. Research strawberries. But anyhow, so when we have these different fibers, our body, our microbiome will start breaking down and diversifying. So you have this amazing appendix, and I hope you all still have your appendix. Your appendix is so crucial for your immune system, and you may not know what that appendix does. Appendicitis, by the way, is almost always parasites, just so you know. And yeah, so and you can get rid of that at home. But appendix have like, just pretend you can imagine like all these different bacterias, and they're all different, and they're living. Just pretend there's like it's a seed bank. Just call it that. It's a seed bank. So it used to be we could go to the river, drink some water, and there might be a bacteria in there. There might be something really dangerous in that river water, but our grandparents drank the water anyways because their appendix would be like boop, boop, and the appendix would release little bacteria because they recognize, your body recognizes what's coming down the throat, honey, right? They recognize it immediately. And so then the little healthy bacteria would form and grow and grow and grow off of the fiber in the gut and then be able to kill the bad guy that came in with the water from the stream. So that used to be what kept us literally alive and careful, and it was like part of our immune, it is still a part of our immune system to help protect us.
That's the way that you become, if you want to call it, vaccinated,
Yes, that's a great way to look at it. Yeah, like
right?
homeo. Yeah, almost. Yes, exactly. It's like, oh, you've got some warriors in there. It's really cool. There's actually a product we sell all the time. It's called HU58. HU58 is literally bacteria that we used to have in our bodies that was discovered. A friend of mine who is absolutely mad scientist gone crazy, but he used to own microbiome labs. He sold that. Now he's doing other amazing things, but he discovered HU58, and it when you take it, it creates over 11 natural antibodies in the body. Well, once you have those in the body, so you can take that for a couple months and then boom, that bacteria will stay alive in the body as long as you eat fiber. All of the different probiotics people take, most of them you don't need. They're just a scam. Trust me. Don't ever buy yogurt. Please don't. Raise your right hand. I will never buy yogurt again. Okay, unless you're making it, or maybe an organic coconut yogurt. But please, please, please don't buy yogurt to get your probiotics. That is never, never, never going to be the right thing to do. Anyhow, and so, but probiotic strains are important. We can take lactobacillus for a couple months and then switch, right? Then switch to bifidobacteria. You want to switch. And every bacteria does something different. We teach all this, by the way, at Holistic Health Educators. You get graphs and charts on everything because we want you as well educated as possible. Every form of magnesium, what it does, every single bacteria almost, and what it does. Because you might have a child, most of your children don't need any more lactobacillus. They were covered in lactobacillus when they came out of the vaginal canal. Oh, but what about C-section babies? Oh, they don't have lactobacillus. So now they're sick most of their life. They have all asthma and all sorts of problems, but we won't get into that. So bacteria literally is part of your makeup from the birth canal on, and it diversifies based on the fiber you're eating. So the more variety of fiber, the more diverse your microbiome, the stronger the immune system. Taking antibiotics, boop, wipes out your bazillions and trillions of healthy bacteria. killing them, just antibiotics. You're killing your probiotics. It will take 8 months to a year, sometimes longer, to rebuild your healthy
Wow.
bacteria. It's your healthy bacteria that kill off the bad bacteria. So maybe perhaps let it go a little bit, right? But it's something you really do want to learn about microbiome. Everybody should
Wow.
learn
You
microbiome.
you know a lot. That's you did a great summary of things that I have learned back in the past, but well explained, and everything that you say just makes sense. Okay, so let's get a little bit more into weight loss and health. Why diet is such a big deal for our health and weight loss?
That's awesome. You really are what you eat. And I've been helping people lose weight for probably 24 years now. I really have. I don't know how many tens of thousands of pounds have dropped off of my clients. But it's not me who does the work. You guys have to do the work. So I would love to explain the food groups and what they do. But there are some key factors as to why people can't lose weight. There's just some key factors immediately people need to understand. Because if we don't have enough of X, Y, or Z, no matter what you do, you're not going to lose weight. And the number one thing is iodine. Your thyroid controls your metabolism. And your thyroid makes T4. It's the only thing the thyroid makes. Your parathyroid, right? Those are the cute little raisin side. There's four of them glands in your butterfly called the thyroid. Those parathyroids make parathyroid hormone that controls your calcium uptake, right? Boom. But your thyroid makes T4. That stands for tyrosine and four molecules of iodine. So T4, if you don't have iodine, you can never make T4. Now, T4 is kind of useless to the body. It doesn't do anything. However, it goes to the liver and it converts to T3. Now, T3 does everything. T3 is then carried throughout the body. It's obviously a hormone, and it needs good, your good bile, and it needs good cholesterol to be carried everywhere. So please don't go on a low cholesterol anything. And so now you have T3 going out to the body, and that is controlling your heat and your weight loss, your metabolism. So if you just can't lose weight, I can almost guarantee you are low in iodine. I mean, pretty much every single person that has ever had candida, who's overweight, a thyroid disorder, even taking thyroid medication, they're still low in iodine. Even though their medication is supposed to put the iodine in, it's not. Like, I test people every day in my clinic. It's free. It's a free test if you ever want to come in. It's so cheap and easy to do a test. I'll tell you how to do it. Buy nascent iodine, NaScent, nascent iodine in an alcohol base. We sell it on our store, zuzusenergy.com. But you can buy iodine but it needs to be an alcohol to do the test. And you'll test everyone you know. Trust me, you're going to become a fanatic about iodine because everyone will love you and everyone will lose weight and then everybody will have more energy. But you take your wrist and right on the edge of the wrist, make sure your wrist is very level and that there's no lotion on it. And you put a drop of iodine. If it soaks in, your body's going, iodine, iodine, and it soaks it in. It'll never run off the body. I've had people where you put a drop and it's running and running. It'll never come. It'll never fall off. Your
So,
body sucking it in.
okay, so if the body's sucking it in, that means that you need it.
Yes.
If it doesn't
Yep.
suck it in, that means that you're good.
Yep. That means you're good.
And it's nice in iodine in
Mhm.
alcohol.
Yep. Yep. Because
And you said you sell it on your website.
I do. Like some of my favorite products I have on zuzusenergy.com. And I did that. I don't care. Like, I don't care where you buy anything. It doesn't matter to me where you buy anything. I'm just saying if you can find a nasty iodine in an alcohol base,
Okay,
that's the only
so
thing to test.
you don't put it in alcohol. You buy it in alcohol base.
Yep. It'll be in glycerin or alcohol. And you want to have it in glycerin. I mean, in alcohol.
Alcohol.
Because alcohol will soak in to the rest.
Wow, this is impressive. Thank you for sharing all this knowledge,
Hmm.
Zuzu. I really appreciate it.
Happy to. I mean, hello.
Okay.
If I can help people, I'm going to help them.
So
Uh,
that's the first thing.
yeah,
And
that's the
so
number
you
one
say
thing.
four, right?
Yep, that's the number one thing you want to do is check that. Number two, are you sleeping? Because weight loss and sleep go hand in hand. If you are not getting 6 to 8, mostly 7 to 8 hours of sleep, it's going to be very hard for you to lose weight. And sleep does not start at midnight. Sleep, you get tired when the sun sets for a reason. Melatonin comes out at night when the sun is setting because all of your hormones are controlled by your pineal gland, which is controlled by the sun, almost always. And so you create melatonin when you're getting tired, and you're supposed to lay down and go to bed. You don't like put every light on in your house and then crack open a pizza and then watch movies until two. No, you don't. No, I mean maybe once a year. But your body only heals between sunset and 4 or 5 in the morning. Period. There. Period. Now you have it. So if you're going to bed at 1, okay, you're not going to lose weight. If you're going to bed at
Because
midnight, okay, fine, you're not going to lose weight. You actually need to go to bed. You need to go to bed between 9 and 10 and then sleep. And sleep
okay.
until 4 or 5 in the morning.
This is great, Zuzu. I love what you're saying.
Okay.
I also want to respect your time, but I still have the time to continue with the interview. I want to put this out for everybody. And one of the
Yes.
things, and please let me know if you agree with it. One of the things that you and I have in common, and that's the reason why I see the I see the passion that you have to help people more than anything, help them, not to benefit from it. Of course, you're going to benefit, but more than anything, because you want to help. And the things
Yes.
that we have in common is that we went through difficult times and we understood that we have control over our health and life. And we're going to pass that to other people so they can see they have control over their health and their
Mhm.
life. We have similar values, and we also notice there are flaws in the system that many people are not aware, and some people are becoming aware of these flaws in the system, and so
Yes.
how we need to disclosure those without being so obvious to
Yep.
the public so they can start waking up to the reality that there is cure and they can have better health if they start being responsible for the health without relying on pharmaceuticals.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's what we see. Our school is very busy right now. We have a lot of people coming into our school, and probably a third of our students are medical doctors and nurses, by the way, LPNs and RNs, because they weren't taught what we teach. We teach the science behind natural healing, and that was lost in the early 1900s, in the 20s. Because of the Flexner report, and so we're just bringing it back, and we know what's missing. So we do that, and then we have 16-year-olds to 80-year-olds who are just coming into the school because they want to like save everybody from cancer, or they want to do, and they want to know. So the education is available in 130 languages, and we want as many people educated as possible. And that's really what we do. We do have we have amazing programs. We have an Ask Zuzu for all of our students, and it's not just me; it's all of our top doctors and practitioners over the last many years and decades providing the information. So you can look up 300 and it's probably 360 health ailments now. What do you do for Parkinson? Boom, and I give you all the information. So as a holistic healthcare practitioner or a holistic health coach, through our course, you actually get access to that forever, and then you get to help people all the time. Like it is,
Nice.
we give an incredible amount of education because if you understand how the body works, you're going to help everybody who comes to see you. But if you just pay $500 and get a certificate you print online, that's not a health coach. That it just
Yeah.
isn't. So
So
yeah,
let's,
I love that. I love that. We love to educate. We love it, love it. Because when you educate, and especially when you use science, it just shuts them up. Like
yeah.
I'm not intimidated by any doctor. I'm definitely not intimidated by any man. Yeah, I'm a woman, wears a flower in my hair all the time. I don't care because I, I've seen almost everything reverse. Like I've watched and helped narcolepsy and epilepsy and psoriasis, just anything, you name it, multiple forms of cancers. So you can't tell me you can't get off of your medication as a diabetic. You can't. I've watched it like over and over again. So like you can't tell me this doesn't work because it does. It may
Okay.
not work, and it may not work for everybody because sometimes it is their identity. And you and I both know that person in the bar, the person who has fibromyalgia, the person who has MS. Can you imagine what their life? And I do. I had a lady who completely reversed her fibromyalgia. She had 5 kids, and I picked her up every day and brought her to our clinic because I was so determined to help her. And she was playing volleyball. She was doing incredible. She was doing incredible. And then she got pregnant with the next child, and all of a sudden there was no one doing her laundry, no one bringing her meals, no one tending to her, and so she stopped taking care of herself because with her fibromyalgia, everything was handed to her.
Yeah,
I,
yeah, she wanted
yeah,
that
identity
attention.
is everything.
Okay, so let's go back. So we talk about two, the iodine, and we talk about sleep. What are the
Yep.
other two?
So, food, obviously. What are you eating? What are you eating? Because if you're eating hormone disruptors and drinking out of plastic water bottles, yeah, you're going to be having a harder time losing weight because you're disrupting the hormones. And guess what? Acetylcholine, which controls, which is a nervous system, which is a neurotransmitter, but that controls the stomach. And in your stomach, hydrochloric acid is a hormone, and pepsin, and you're looking at the insulin that's being released. Like these are all things that are affected. So, what are we eating? And this is where it gets really interesting. Obviously, sugar is out of the question. We just ban sugar while you're losing weight, period. And that's great because sugar actually feeds your cancer cells dramatically. So you and your candida and your parasites and your viruses and your bacteria. So eliminating sugar, and I even would go so far, you don't have to eliminate all of your fruit, but your high sugar fruits, I would eliminate while you're losing weight. And if you're going to go to keto, which I do often put people on a ketogenic diet only for 6 months, unless they're epileptic, then you're on keto the rest of your life or thereabout. But for people who are losing weight, we do recommend a ketogenic diet, but I don't eat meat. I don't like meat. I mean, I have a half a cow in my freezer because, we have relatives in Arkansas with the best beef you've ever had in your life on 1,600 organic acres. So we have beef and we sell it, but I just don't like it. So you can be, ketogenic without eating meat. However, when we stop eating the sugars and we are doing a very strict ketogenic diet, we are going to lose weight if we have enough iodine, if we're getting sleep at night, and it should rapidly fall off. It really does. We can not. My husband and I did it's a webinar on weight loss. I've written a lot on weight loss, done a lot of videos on this, and you can find all those all over. I mean, they're somewhere in the social media world. I'm terrible with social media, so please forgive me on that one. I'll get better, I promise. But or I'll hire someone. But you will find Greg and I did a video on weight loss, and it should be at holistichealtheducators.com and it should be on lilyfields.com on our blogs. But some people will choose to eat small meals. We do believe and teach intermittent fasting. So after your dinner at night at 6 p.m., we do not eat again until 10 or 11 in the morning. That will be a life changer for most people. Intermittent, and you get very used to it. You can drink water, right? That'd be great. But you really want to do intermittent. If you're going to die, then put a little bit of a fiber supplement in that water, which you won't die. And so when you do that intermittent fasting, and then you go to a ketogenic diet, you are going to be able to see some great transformation in the body. So the diet is everything, understanding the food groups. You don't need meat. You don't. That's just a fairy tale that the meat industry has sold you. That's the only place to get protein. And it's not, because all of your proteins are built from amino acids, and all amino acids come from plants. The only reason the cow has any protein to offer you is because the cow is eating grass. Wake up. I know, pretty cool. So you can go eat grass, which would be weird, but sometimes I think I make smoothies that taste like that. But anyhow, but like you can eat spinach and all the other things that come out of the ground, right? Your spinach and your collard greens and your kale and your everything. You can make amazing smoothies, but you can eat them in your salads. It doesn't matter. Everything that comes out of the ground has amino acids. All your nuts and seeds have amino acids because amino acids come from plants. That's where they come from. So you can eat the plant or eat the animal that ate the plant. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Just find what brings you into that ketogenic state for those 6 months that you're losing some weight. The other fallacy is dairy, and I'm a very anti-dairy person. I am. I am not sure who the first person was who decided to suck out of a cow. I find it disturbing. I think that is an eating disorder. I really do. Because I birthed a lot of babies. I had 7 children, raised 12, well, raised 10, and then got 2 more when they were after they were little. But anyhow, and so I will tell you one thing, my babies came out hungry. They were hungry and they nursed because that is what brought them from 7 or 8 pounds to 27 pounds or 32 pounds before they were done nursing. Well, I'm from Wisconsin, and I will clearly tell you there is no 8 pound baby calf. You're looking at calves that are like 60 to 80 pounds when they're born, and then they nurse out of their mother, which has the protein and sugars needed to grow that baby calf to a cow who's hundreds of pounds. And look at Americans. We all look, I'm sorry, a lot of them look like they're large. I would say cows, but that sounds really terrible. But that's what they're doing to themselves. They're putting way too much protein and sugar that their body can never break down. You don't make enough casein or renin to break down the casein. You don't make enough of the enzymes, lactose to break down lactose. You don't make enough of it. You just don't.
So, imagine that I'm one of your clients. I'm a healthy. I consider myself healthy. I'm very strong. I can squat 360 pounds 50 times. My Christian phosphate system can recuperate fast. So I can finish all my heavy lifting within an hour.
Hmm.
Um, I drink milk. I drink A2 milk. I don't abuse it. I only drink it in the morning with my smoothie. What would you
Mhm.
say to me?
I would say it's time to give up the wet nurse because the actual benefits of milk do not outweigh the issues you will have, period. It just is. And so now if you love milk, I don't have a problem if you get a cow. Put her in your backyard and then milk her in the morning. My daughter does that. And then boom, you have fresh raw milk that day. But within 24 hours, there's no need for it. In 24 hours, the actual electrical imprint of the dairy is gone. There's no more angstroms. And when you run out of the electricity in a product, it is useless to the body and it's going to take energy to break it down. So, number one, you're probably going to get kidney stones. Number two, you're going to have things happen because you're drinking dairy. Dairy is not meant for human consumption. And so most people buy their kidney stones in the dairy department and they just don't realize it. And then they blame kale. And I'm like, oh, for Pete's sake, osculates, give me a break. People are so screwed up with their plants. They're like, oh, I ate kale and lettuce and all these greens, and I had such a problem, and they gave me kidney stones. I'm like, no, that's your gut is so screwed up. You were meant and designed to live off of vegetables, not suck out of a cow. But if you're like, I'm going to eat only animals and suck out of cows. Okay, guess what you've just done? You've completely eliminated your microbiome. So you're a carnivore who's going to be very sick and pay a very big price for what you're living right now. And it will happen because you actually need the diverse microbiome so you don't get prostate cancer, so you don't have all these other issues in the body. So people might feel really amazing, great, that's wonderful for a while, but it's going to catch up to you, and we simply weren't. So I would encourage you to make your own nut milk. Super easy to
So,
do,
so
super easy
it's
to do.
So it's kind of similar like the juice. If you do a cold press and drink it at home, it's okay. But once you pasteurize it, the
Yes.
benefits of that is gone. It's the same thing with milk.
Yes, 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 yes. Yep. And milk, like I said, after 24 hours. So the only cheese I would recommend if people wanted to eat cheese would be an aged raw cheese. The longer it's aged and the harder it gets, right? Like a Parmesan, it'll digest almost itself, right? I still don't recommend a lot of that, but I am from Wisconsin and I'll taste cheese once in a while because it's fun. But and plus, if men have ED, oh God, I'm sorry, get off of your dairy, sweetheart, because you are so giving yourself erectile dysfunction. Just trust me on that. I've helped so many men get rid of ED. It's not hard, well, but it takes a little bit of discipline, and getting off of dairy is one of those things. So it's fine, but I would really encourage. You're going to get a lot more health benefits from macadamia milk. Macadamia nuts are unbelievable for the heart, right? Cashews, a handful of cashews is like Prozac. You want to be happy? Okay, literally a handful of cashews can give you what Prozac does. So like learn your nuts and seeds. We make our own nut butter all the time, super, super, super simple. And then we use that in with some water and we blend it and we have nut milk. So in whatever smoothies you're making, any bakery items you want to bake, cereal, really look at almond milk, and you can do oat milk, but remember oat's a grain. So you don't want any grain if you're trying to lose weight because grain will make you large. And so you go to a grain-free diet when you want to lose weight. No wheat. I don't care if it's sprouted and you sing to it and you raise the wheat in your backyard. Don't use any kind of grain when you're trying to lose weight. So, and potatoes, those are all starches. So all starches turn to sugar. And so on a weight loss program, that's why we go to a keto, only because it's easy. Or you can do Mediterranean, but you just don't eat any of the sugars and the grains. And as far as the dairy, I recommend people get off of it. And plus, it takes about 3 months though to get dairy out of the cell. So out of the body, it will take 3 months. So just give yourself some time. You'll feel the differences very quickly. And you probably will go through some detox if you've been drinking milk every day for a long time. But like I couldn't, I have not been able to drink milk for decades. I just can't because I don't use it. However, I went to visit my daughter and her sweet cow Lou, and we milked the cow, brought it inside, ran it through and cleaned it, not pasteurized, of course, and I could drink a glass of it. I didn't love it because I don't like milk, but it tasted nice. I just didn't want a whole glass of it. And we made butter and we made all sorts of fun stuff. It was super great. Can't pass up a good organic raw whipping cream, but anyhow, on some fresh pumpkin pie with no sugar. It's delicious. I should give you my pumpkin pie recipe. But so going to nuts and seeds, two things happen. A load of benefits because not only are you getting a whole array of amino acids from your nuts and your seeds that you don't from like seed milk, like hemp seed milk, that kind of thing, and pumpkin seed milk, which I would ask you to do. Every one of your male listeners should be eating pumpkin seeds the rest of his life. It's one of the best
I
things for the
hear very good things about pumpkin seeds
yeah,
and
pumpkin seeds
also
are
about watermelon seeds.
Yep. And pumpkin seeds, though, they trump for parasites. They help for the prostate. They're just amazing. But pumpkin seed milk is delicious. It's green, but it's really, really good. And so using pumpkin seeds and hemp seeds and a handful of Brazil nuts and macadamia nuts, and you put that into a twister jar and you make your own nut butter, it's the best thing in the world, right? You'll never go back to peanut butter because Brazil nut butter is amazing. And hemp nut, you can make all your own butters. You can get a twister jar. They're made for a Blendtec blender. So go home with the Blendtec blender and a twister jar. You'll make all your milk for the rest of your life, and it's absolutely incredible. So that's probably one thing I would do. And then nut butters, nut cheese, great stuff. I love making nut cheese. It is so easy to do and there's so much more flavor in a nut than in cow. Oh my gosh, it's so much more flavor. So
Okay, so we talk about three things. Now the fourth one for weight loss.
the fourth thing for weight loss, it's really a catch up. I have a 9 steps to weight loss, and I believe that's also free on holistichealtheducators.com on the blog. So I go through 9 steps. The fourth one, though, that I really, really recommend, obviously, is going to be exercise. We need to move the body because we need to move the lymph. So this is part of detoxification. The number one way to detoxify the body is to stop putting toxins in. So you don't eat an our Snicker bar, and God knows you never eat a Taki. Like, please, please, please never eat chips again. Those things are so toxic. But anyhow, and talk about destroying the microbiome, those things are at the top of the list. But we want to look at exercise and detoxification kind of together because if we're stopping to put the toxins in, so we're cutting out milk and cheese and dairy and blah, blah, all these grains and all these food colorings and all these junk, we need to get all the bad stuff out. The thing people don't realize, like you're a machine. Like what you put in just doesn't evaporate unless you're sweating. There you'll evaporate some, right? But like it's still there. Like if you have a parasite, it's in the body. If you have cancer cells, they're in the body, right? If you have bacteria and viruses, where are they? They're in the body. If you eat coal tar, which is your basis of all your food coloring, where's it going? Into your body. Like you're putting crap in your body, everybody, right? You're putting junk in. It's got to come out. If it doesn't come out, it gets stored in adipose tissue and we get big, 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 right? We start storing all of our toxins, which is
Cancer.
why, yeah. What's that?
Cancer.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Yeah. Cancer cells are alive. You got to kill them and starve them and then get them out. And so exercise, exercise, exercise is how you get crap out of the body because you're moving the lymphatic system. Your lymphatic system doesn't have a pump. And this is a mind-blowing fact. You have 1.5 to 2 times more lymph fluid in your body right now than you do blood. Have you
Mm,
even heard of lymph fluid?
wow.
Most people don't even know that. So where is your lymph, right? It's right below the skin, but your lymph is what your blood is dumping toxins into. The lymph system used to be called like the septic system of the body, but we've learned a lot in the last 10 years. So it's more of a subway system. In your lymphatic system, you'll actually find vitamins and minerals are being transported as well. So we call it the subway system. But the lymphatic system empties in your urine, in your colon, and through the skin and through your mouth. So there's only four ways to get in and out of the body. We breathe it in or put it through the mouth. We put it on the skin or it comes out of the skin. And if you have a skin rash, you're almost always constipated, by the way. And then we urinate or we have stool. We have a bowel movement. So we need to exercise because the lymphatic system doesn't have a pump. So while I'm playing in the ocean or while and I get up every day and exercise, I do kettlebells with my husband. So we do kettlebells every morning. 'Cause I don't want to have like flabby arms when I'm really old because I'm not old yet. I'm only 58 and I don't feel old at all, by the way. I feel incredible. But anyhow, and so I do kettlebells in the morning and then we get in the sauna every single day. If we're home, every single day we're in the sauna for an hour at 145 degrees. We just are because you are going to get all your microplastics out. You're going to detox the body. You're going to have amazing skin. You just feel incredible. So exercise to me, I have my Peloton bike and blah, blah. I do all my things I like to do for exercise. But even when we travel, like we came down to Florida, we have our kettlebells, but we take our kettlebells everywhere. And then we stop at a wayside and we do steps and we do all sorts of things that always wear me out. Anyhow, and then we get in the car and we drive another 3 hours and then we get out and we exercise. But exercising is not only therapeutic and it releases endorphins and all that stuff, but it's also number one way to help get toxins out, which you will then lose weight. Please remember every single pharmaceutical, when they remember to include the paper with all the side effects, they don't always do that, especially through COVID. But anyhow, when they remember to include it, all of them tell you that this can affect the liver. All of them. Because your liver has a P450 pathway, which is supposed to determine, it's like a conveyor belt in the airport. It's supposed to determine where all these ingredients go. That when you eat a Snickers bar and there's 4,000 ingredients, whatever it is, right? I pick on Snickers bars all the time. But anyhow, a lava bar, a Lara, whatever you eat, all of the chemicals in there need to be told where to go in the body. And that's your liver's job. But if your liver's like, I don't know what that is, it stores it. It just stores it. It stores it. It stores it in your thigh, in your arm, in your butt, in your anywhere. Like we have adipose tissue all over storing toxins that need to come out. So the biggest warning when you start losing weight, everybody needs to tell your spouse and your kids and everybody you work with this, you are going to be emotional because you have not just stored toxins, you have stored emotions. So when you start losing weight and you're crying over this and you're crying over that and someone hurt your feelings, just remember that's normal. It's just 100% normal to become psychotic when you're losing weight because every emotion is a polypeptide and it gets stored in the adipose tissue. So when you have a massage and you're emotional, that's normal. Drink water, exercise because
Interesting.
it is. It's just part of losing weight. It is just part of going through life is your emotions are chemicals and they're treated and stored in the liver like every other chemical. And I like to share this analogy because it's funny. And I'm sure we've all been here when like we've gone to work and like on the way to work we spill something and we get to work and it's stressful and then you forgot the birthday party gift for the work person afterwards and you're supposed to go pick up the kids from baseball practice and piano lessons and blah blah blah, and then you come home and like your spouse or your partner has not made dinner, the kids are like all over the place, the house looks like a disaster and you're like, what the heck happened, and you lose it, right? That's not you. That is your liver going, hey, Wanda, I'm still trying to process the candy bar you ate for breakfast because you didn't take time to make yourself something and the cake that you had at the birthday party. And like, I don't got room for your emotions right now. So you just need to calm down. I'm taking care of me. The liver doesn't give a darn. The
Yeah,
liver doesn't, you know,
one of the things that have been concluded, it makes sense what you're saying because I remember years ago, one of my cousins went into a med because he had acne. Back then, I had no knowledge on this, but
Mhm.
he got into a medication to get rid of the acne, and one of the side effects was he will get depressed.
Mhm.
Then later, I don't know where I hear that your liver has to do a lot with your emotions. Then
Yep.
I started desintoxicating my liver
Uh-huh.
Uh, and I noticed that I became depressed. I become very negative.
Yep.
I'm very aware of my thoughts. When I think, I'm very aware what I think, and usually I'm positive and think about the things that are gonna come right, the things that I need to do. How can I overcome this? I find solutions. My brain is
Yes.
always looking for solutions. When I was intoxicating my liver, it's like I caught myself thinking like, no, no, again, I'm gonna do this. This is too difficult. I can't do this. I said, that's not me.
Yeah,
And
it's
then I
not you.
noticed that I was playing with my liver. It's interesting how the liver
Yeah.
has to do a lot with managing your emotions.
Yes, it does. I love the liver. That's why I'm like every morning wake up and go, I love you, liver. I'm gonna take better care of you today. Like everything you eat goes to the liver. All your emotions go to the liver. Like everything you put in your skin goes to the liver. And your liver's amazing. You can cut 3/4 of your liver out and it'll regrow. Like, hello, no other organ will do that because the body needs the liver to handle all of it. So when I get over emotional, I'm like, okay, what am I going through? What am I detoxing? So it just is. It is so much about the human body that's easy to understand. It is not hard. You guys, it is not hard. It is not hard. I remember I grew up Catholic and we had like a Bible on the table and we didn't read it because that wasn't what you do. The priest interprets the Bible for you. And I think that's where people are treating Western medicine there or any kind of medicine. They're like, I'm not supposed to know how the body works. That's what I go to a doctor for. But that's not real. That's not true, you guys. You should know how the body works because you did until the 1920s. You did. You understood how the body worked because you went to water therapy and you did chromotherapy and you did chiropractic therapy and you did so many different therapies because our whole 200 and some years that we were here as Americans, well, until the 20s, so whatever that is, 130. Anyhow, we were literally aware of how our body worked because our ancestors knew how our bodies worked. And we literally, they had to get rid of over 80% of all natural medicine from all medical schools when the Flexner Report came out because Carnegie and Rockefeller had just developed these great petroleum oil based chemicals called pharmaceuticals. God only knows how we're supposed to break down petroleum oil in our bodies, right? Please stop using Vaseline. But anyhow, and so now in order for you to get your little doctor MD after your name and wear a little white coat and be recognized, you had to literally, as a college, eliminate almost all of your natural therapies. And I'm sorry, but that's why there's far few black medical doctors right now because they wouldn't do it. They're like, oh, hell no, we're keeping our therapies.
I
Thank you very much. We're like, yeah, whatever. You white people just go and be all woo woo. But we're
one
going to keep doing what our ancestors have done for decades,
decades.
centuries now. So it's just something that we are unaware of, and it's all over the internet now. We've been teaching the flexion report for a long, long time, way before you could see it on the internet. So that's why people are waking up. And if you're one of them, if any of your listeners are like, I want to do this for a living, please do this for a living. You could not have a better job than when you get a picture. And I just had this happen again and again and again, a picture of a pregnancy test that's now positive. And they've done everything to get pregnant and they couldn't get pregnant. And they simply came and you teach them herbs and you teach them cycles and you help improve the sperm and you get the damn cell phone out of their pocket. Like all of a sudden, boom, they're pregnant. There's nothing better than having someone never have a seizure again or get rid of narcolepsy, get rid of epilepsy, get rid of neuropathy, get rid of cancer. Literally, oh my gosh, it's harder to treat autoimmunity than cancer. So don't freak out when you have cancer. Everyone has cancer. Every baby born has cancer. Every human has cancer. Why is it growing in some people and not in others? Well, I'll tell you right now, sugar feeds cancer. All of your grain is feeding cancer. All of the alcohol you're drinking is feeding your cancer. All sugar feeds cancer. And the second number thing on cancer is EMFs, because a cancer cell will grow 1,632 times faster when exposed to pulsing technology.
Wow.
Hey, what you doing tomorrow? Oh, blah, 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 blah. And then you put it in your breast pocket. Oh, yeah, honey, what are you going to get cancer? Your brain and your breast, your prostate. Like, this is not rocket science, guys. You can do thermal imaging and see right from the head, right from the mouth, right where your cancer is. Cancer grows when it's exposed to pulsing technology and sugar. So, anybody listening, those are the top two things to study. Don't believe me, I'm just entertainment. So, I'm just your entertaining holistic healthcare practitioner. So please seek out. And there are so many medical doctors that are aware of this now. They really are. So if you have a medical doctor who's just not going to budge and not help you get off of medication, just find a new one because they're coming out of the woodwork. They want you to be well. And you have to remember these doctors are bound by their insurance companies that they represent. They are bound. They and for years they had to sign paperwork saying that they would never recommend anything the insurance company wouldn't cover. So if both you and I went to a medical doctor for a thyroid panel, you would get a different one than I would get. You might get the full panel and you're looking at free T3, free T4, and I won't because my insurance company wouldn't cover it, but yours will. Like literally your life depends on your insurance company. That's wrong in my book. That's wrong. That's wrong. But they've had to do that because they have big bills and blah blah blah, all the things that they do that for. But there's a lot of doctors that aren't doing that anymore. They have to do that maybe at their clinic, but they know better and they'll help you. So just find a medical doctor that you trust. Really, please, 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 because we need the Western medical world. We need the diagnostic tools. We want them. We want them because if you come to me and you cut off your arm with a chainsaw, I'm going to put cayenne pepper on it because it'll stop the bleeding. But I'm sending you to the hospital because I don't know what to do with a cut off arm. So we just have our places working together. And I think this is a great time to be alive because they're recognizing that. And I really, truly, truly pray and hope that it continues to be a more mutual beneficial friendship instead of a money thing. Although I might be skeptic at times, but I still believe that but you guys, I've had medical doctors bring their children to me because they didn't want them on medications. This is real. This is
I
happening.
think
That's
this,
okay.
this is
It's
the this is
okay.
this is the way I see it. If you, because everything is based on beliefs, and
Mhm.
what we doing as a professionals, for example, I fall into very deep depression, and then
Mhm.
I started studying psychology.
Yeah.
And when I started learning everything on the textbooks that is written by a pharmaceutical organization, I start concluding that what the book said simply don't make sense.
Mm-mm.
Questions such as what's the difference between cocaine and antidepressants? One is regulated, the other one is don't make sense. But I start making my conclusions and then I find out the flaws on those. And like you mentioned, it's not like every single doctor is coming to get you because of money. They've been thought that way. They have their hands handcuffed based on the insurance policy or based on the protocols they need to follow for the clinic they're working for, as an example.
Mhm.
Um, and those people who really believe in those medication, going back to what you said about that person that they had the identity, they wanted to be sick. Some people simply don't want to be helped and they want that identity and they think the doctors are God and they just have the trust completely without questioning absolutely nothing.
Mhm.
And and those people, we want them to wake up and not to completely dish their doctor and say, well, I'm just moving this way and you are useless. It's like, make your
Right.
conclusions.
Mhm.
Maybe antibiotics are not good for you, but if you're dying
Mhm.
and you
Yes.
really need to take the antibiotics, don't
Yes.
ignore the antibiotics. They're
Yes.
there for a
Right.
reason. But
Yes.
don't take it lightly. Don't just go take an
Right.
antibiotic because the doctor said, "Oh, you have a little cut. Yeah, we're gonna put you for a whole month of antibiotic."
Oh,
Sometimes it's just common sense,
yeah.
but but I hear you saying that yeah, it's not about teaching the doctor completely. It's about making your own conclusions and seeing what's the best for you
Yeah.
according to how you want to be your health in the future. Because by the end, those chemicals that you put in your body are gonna have side effects.
They are.
One of the things that I'm against completely, It's I'm against antidepressants, but I'm gonna tell you a story that I hear about. There is a rapper. He's well known by now. His name is Tom McDonald's. He
Hmm.
talks a lot about how the system is completely it's messed up. He talks about politics. He talks about medication. He talks about the music industry. He's amazing. I can just tell you that I start hearing his music and I start following him. But in his story, he talks about how depressed he was,
Mm.
and the nothing was helping him to get out of that depression, and he was into so he was suicidal, like completely. He
Oh.
said the doctor put him into Solop, I think is the name of the medication. It's an
Mm.
antidepressant. It's an antidepressant.
Hmm.
And he said that if it wasn't for the antidepressant, he
Hmm.
would have killed himself. But
Hmm.
the antidepressant only helped him to get focus for a
Hmm.
few weeks. After he got focused, he ditched the antidepressants and he went back to normal. I didn't take antidepressants. I had the strength to get out of that depression without him. But I see his point. So I
Yeah.
think that's why you're saying, like, sometimes it's common sense. You need that little push, maybe
Yep.
take it. But
Yes.
then you have to do it on your own.
Yep. And do your research because you could use methane blue to do the same thing as antidepressants or thereabouts, right? So just research SSRIs, research red light therapy, and I will tell you, to me, all depression, all manic depression, all psychotic events start in the gut. They really, really do. If you learn enough about the microbiome, you will learn that there are strains of the microbiome that literally will change your attitude and your sadness within days. It's true. And if you ever want us to come back and do, a little bit more on that, we'll do that. But that is, please learn more about the microbiome because the
Let's
microbiome is so crucial to your happiness and your joy. It really, really
I
is.
would love to interview you a little bit more about this after we finish. I'm gonna go back and listen to the whole thing to take more notes and maybe talk about something else. I would love to have you back
Hmm,
because right now I want to change our topic to the last question. I think is super important, and that's what we
wonderful.
started. Polyester and hormone replacement. But before you start speaking, I have a friend who is a general doctor, and
Mhm.
she says that it's mind blowing how many people are into hormone replacement, including men, because they want to get toned, because they want to lose weight, and they take it so lightly. Please,
Yeah.
that's the time to elaborate about the GOP1 and all that.
Number one, again, when I started, I said if you're seeing an endocrinologist, go to a neurologist, but go above that. Get your chiropractic work and get your acupuncture. Hormones are controlled by the nervous system. Two huge important factors. You may not be making the hormone because you don't have the building blocks to make the hormone. So, just like T4 that the thyroid makes, you need tyrosine and 4 molecules of iodine. If you don't have enough tyrosine or iodine, you're never going to make it. So, if you don't have the chemicals and the building blocks to make your parathyroids, if you don't have the chemicals and building blocks to make insulin, if you don't have what it takes to build the hormone in the first place, we need to bring that in. And that's where minerals are like the number two thing. So I talk about the two things that are the number two things in Karen's gospel of the body is the nervous system and then minerals. Minerals are the sparks of life, period. The periodic table of elements should have been called the periodic table of electricity because there's hydrogen, helium, lithium, beryllium, boron, carbon, right? There's all these different minerals and they all spark. So magnesium has 12 protons, it'll have 12 electrons, right? Calcium, phosphorus, zinc, magnesium, iron, cobalt, all of these vibrate differently. And when you have them in the body, they spark. the body. And the easiest one I use all the time because it's super easy to understand. Magnesium relaxes muscles. So your heart, you have AFib. Oh, could be a mineral. It could be a mineral deficiency of magnesium. Oh, you're constipated. Oh, could be a mineral deficiency of magnesium. Right. So on and on and on and on. And so when we understand minerals, we understand they're a building block. So are vitamins. Vitamins are cofactors. If you don't have enough vitamin C, then you most likely aren't going to absorb your iron. Okay, right? E, you need vitamin E to have selenium work in the body. Did you know that? So your iron-rich foods automatically have vitamin C in them. And so just be thinking, okay, minerals, vitamins, biophotons, right? We're looking at all these different chemicals that make us us, all our amino acids. I love amino acids. I preach about amino acids. So all these building blocks are needed for you to make your hormones. So to go get a hormone replacement when you don't even know if you're missing something for your hormones, fine. If you do a hormone test or Dutch test, you find out where your hormones are at, great. If you're deficient in something, just don't go take it.
I
The minute you start taking it, your body stops
I
making
I
it.
think I think you're talking to the people who think they have a deficiency and they
Mhm.
can find ways to fix it. But there are some people, they don't care. They just want to
Right. And
lose
that's
weight.
fine. Totally fine.
And because they want to lose weight, they don't want to do the extra work and they just
Hmm.
take the hormones. And for guys, for example, same thing. They don't care. They just want to get that muscle tone. What would you
I
say to
know.
those?
I say, why don't you go online and read about the side effects of GLP-1? Look at all the lawsuits that are now being filed. And it was just legalized, what, a couple months ago or a year ago, right? People, their kidneys are blowing up with permanent kidney damage. Not just, oh, I got some kidney stones. We're talking permanent kidney damage. But what does a kidney do? It filters the blood. What are you doing when you're taking GLP-1s, right? Well, then you're stopping the gastric emptying, which means you have more crap circulating in the bloodstream, and all that has to go through the kidneys, right? So we're just not thinking. We're constipated. We have diarrhea. We have nausea. We have vomiting. We have hypoglycemia. We have the Ozempic, face coming out. There's so many things happening because they're not reading the warning labels, right? Not that they would, but you have so many issues happening in the body that are long term. These are long lasting effects. So at least study, at least become aware of what your potential side effects are because you don't have time to go get a Dutch panel or you don't have time to research what builds each hormone. I get it. You're busy. I mean, I get it. You're really busy. You're young, you're attractive, you want the hormone replacement because you want to feel better, you want to have better sex. Okay, fine. But you may want to look at how can I build my testosterone? Oh, I can take Shilajit. Shilajit will increase your testosterone by 200%. Hello, did you know that? No, because you didn't study. So I'm like, I don't care. Everyone's going to be on their own journey. And there's going to be people who are like, you're too type A for me. I'm going to take it slow. Fine, take it slow, but at least be learning. So you can turn your head and go, okay, the priest is going to teach me about Catholicism, or you can open up the Bible and start reading, right? You can start learning how the body works, or you can just go to your doctor, and that's fine. I don't care. Like you do whatever is best for you. I'm just saying there might be another way that may extend your life and give you longevity because you're going to pay for your health now or
For the
later.
future.
Everyone pays for when I go to a restaurant and when we travel, we'll stop at restaurants. I'm still very careful. I like to taste things. I might order something and take a bite of something because it was $8 and I wanted to taste it. I'm not going to eat the whole thing because I'm not going to put that into my body. I know what it does to my body. And that's okay. That is okay. So that's just where I'm at after doing this for 40 years. My first green drink was when I was 18 years old, 40 years ago. That's cool. Okay. That's
Zuzu,
cool.
this has been great. Thank you so much
Thank
for all
you.
your time. I'll bring you back in the future. I have
You
many
betcha.
other questions. This time wasn't enough. But we need to know a little bit about you. What's the name of the book that you have or books that you have?
Sure. So my first book is Live, and it's Live with Outrageous Energy, Never Be Sick Again. And the fourth edition, I think it will be out by the time you post this, but it's coming out in the next, few months. The fourth edition is. And then I've written a cookbook and it has like 750 recipes. It's not available because we're adding another 70 recipes and then it'll be available online. So all of those things are coming. And then all the rest of my books that I've written are all part of our course. I have a 780 page book that's called it's for the TNC program, and it is a binder with 120 modalities of natural healing that I cover, and then all the diets from around the world and all the different classes and how to detox. So that's part of our curriculum. And so you can find a lot of information, at least what I'm involved in, at zuzuunleashed.com. There is a new website coming for that. I guess our fancy IT people are making it some kind of portal, whatever that means. Like, again, I have no idea what I'm talking about. I'm just saying I know that there's links at zuzuunleashed.com. I don't take a lot of new clients because I'm really busy working. We opened up our retreat center and we do actual amazing retreats. We only do one of these a month right now. Well, we've done more than one, but right now for the next few months, we're doing one a month, and it's a transformation retreat. It's actually about the mind as well as food, and then body. Because we have a clinic, and you go have your hyperbaric chambers and do all your fun things over there in the wellness center. But we really are working with the mind more than anything. So we teach neuro auto association reprogramming because our words are so powerful, and a lot of people get stuck in sympathetic autonomic nervous system in their brain, not with their body, but what they're saying and what they're thinking. And we help people rewrite it to the parasympathetic autonomic nervous system. These are words that you're saying. And so to get from that depressed state to the healthy state, to get from the I believe this to start sleeping at night, we really work with transforming how we're thinking. This is not an NLP is used. We use a lot of science, but it's not NLP because this is literally something that will change your life in a weekend. We can guarantee that. There's nobody who's ever come that hasn't been changed. And then we make food and we teach you how to cook and we do all sorts of fun things as well. But so that's what we do. So everything you can find at zuzuunleashed.com because we have the school and then we have the retreat center. And we're just here to help. And we really would love as many students to join as possible because that's how we get the word out. And you'll love it. You'll have a blast. It's like a whole family.
SusuUnleashed.com.
Yep.
And where else we can follow you? Instagram,
Well,
YouTube,
okay, I
Facebook.
know, yes, I know that we had a big influencer that I was on her podcast and she came out for one of our retreats and she's helping me set up Instagram and then a page on Lily Fields, a group page or something. So I'm on Facebook for sure. You can go see a bunch of my other podcasts on Facebook, zuzuunleashed.com. I don't respond to anything, so please forgive me. But I am hiring people who can help with all of that. So you'll find me if you look for me. But
Do my
I
favorite. Tell your social media representative to send us your links so we
okay,
can link everything here
you
in
bet.
our podcast and people have access to all the links and everything that you're talking about. And
Wonderful.
what I think everything that you teach are interesting. I'll talk to my wife. Maybe we can talk. We can uh, plan a trip to come to
Yeah.
one of your retreats. Sounds very fascinating and fun to do. I mean, we all need help, and I'm open to become a better person. So it would be
Yes.
something fun to do.
And where are you? Where do you live right now?
We are in Colorado, in
Oh,
a little
beautiful.
town called Glenwood Springs, close to Aspen, like around an hour away from Aspen.
Oh, that's
So
beautiful. Yeah, well, we're in the middle of nowhere in Hawkinsville, Georgia. So like I traveled all of 22 looking for it to open up the center, and I ended up December 7th sitting in boom, Hawkinsville, Georgia, and God's like, this is it. So I'm like, okay, we're gonna buy it. And I have no idea where I am. So anyhow, we love it.
great, you're doing great. Thank you so much,
Thank
Zuzu, for
you.
helping the community. Thank
You're
you for opening up our minds. Thank you for helping a lot of people be healthy. Thank you so much for giving your life to your passion and making the research is not easy, Zuzu. So you should take a lot of credit for that. You making the research for a lot of people and passing that knowledge to us so we
yeah,
can stay healthy. Thank you
yeah.
so much, Zuzu.
You are so welcome. And you all have a beautiful rest of your day.
Same to you. And we're gonna have another one in the future. I'll contact you.
Okay.
Just don't forget my name so you know that you were in body and mind transformation. Yeah, by Custom Body Fitness.
Wonderful. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Susu.
You bet. Bye.
So there you have it. As I think it'll be a little too much to summarize everything, but I can tell you the four things that matters for her for weight loss. The first is iodine. Help your thyroid. If you have hypothyroid, do an iodine supplement. Eat healthy. So start healing your thyroid. Medication won't do it. So you want to find the healthy, holistic way to do it. Second, sleep enough and have a high quality of sleep. Third, eat the right foods. And fourth, exercise. So those are the tips that she gave us for you to lose weight and stay healthy. Of course, we talk about the gut. We talk about other diseases and medication and the microbiome and so on. I hope once again you got a lot of information from this. And please like it, share, and give us a review. Continue with us, and we're going to continue giving you information so you can lose weight, tone your body, and be completely healthy. Please stay close to God, mentally and physically healthy, and we're going to tune in the next episode. So there you have it. As I think it'll be a little too much to summarize everything, but I can tell you the four things that matters for her for weight loss. The first is iodine. Help your thyroid. If you have hypothyroid, do an iodine supplement. Eat healthy. So start healing your thyroid. Medication won't do it. So you want to find the healthy, holistic way to do it. Second, sleep enough and have a high quality of sleep. Third, eat the right foods. And fourth, exercise. So those are the tips that she gave us for you to lose weight and stay healthy. Of course, we talk about the gut. We talk about other diseases and medication and the microbiome and so on. I hope once again you got a lot of information from this. And please like it, share, and give us a review. Continue with us, and we're going to continue giving you information so you can lose weight, tone your body, and be completely healthy. Please stay close to God, mentally and physically healthy, and we're going to tune in the next episode.